Hello everyone, I greet in the name of God Almighty. My name is Silas, and today we have a very interesting video to react to by Sheikh Ahmed Deedat, and of course he has a different way of understanding who God is, and then he decided to do this with the support of the Islamica channel, and of course they released this, and then Ahmed Deedat shared something about God, and then how Jews understand God, same applicable to the Christian and then also to the Muslim. But what that surprised me most is how somebody could be of a different religion and then feels like he understands another religion even more than the person who embrace it. But then anyway, we are going to hear what Ahmed Deedat is going to say concerning God and Jesus Christ. So let's get down to the video and then see what he is going to say. But then if today happens to be the first time of you checking out my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm going to check it out. So before we get on to the video, I'm a theologian and I make this video not to discredit anyone's opinion, thought or view, but this is just basically for educational purposes, and I believe that at the end of this video we all are going to learn from this. So without any further ado, let's get down to this video and check this out.
Let us get onto a common platform. The Muslim is made to ask the Jews and the Christians, come. Let us come onto a common platform. And the terms and conditions of getting together, the Quran says, Allah na'budu illallah, that we worship none but Allah. وَلَا نُشْرِكَ بِهِ شَيْئًا, and that we associate no partners with Him. وَلَا يَتَّخِذَ بَعْضُنَا بَعْضًا أَرْبَابًا مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ, and that we do not take from among ourselves lords and patrons other than God. Like a bishop or a pope, whatever he says ditto, ditto. So no. You and I, we are all personally responsible to God for what we think and how we believe. We are responsible. We are not to be led by the nose by our priests, our predicants, our bishops or popes or maulvis or maulanas. Go to God. And to go to God is to go to His book, the book of God. Let us see, let us come, let us reason together. There's only one God, the Father in heaven. He is a real God. And His name in the Semitic languages is Allah. The name of God Almighty in the language of Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad is Allah. The Quran tells us call Him by any name, as long as that name is not contaminated. Meaning, suppose you ask me what's the name of God, and if I told you His name is Muhammad, immediately you have a mental picture of a camel driver born some 600 years after Jesus, born in Makkah. His father's, if you read his biography, his father's name was Abdullah, his mother's name was Amina, and so on. Is that your God? You have a mental picture. As soon as you have a mental picture, in Islam, it's forbidden. That name is not befitting God Almighty. His name is Rama. If you read the story of Rama in the Ramayana, he had a wife called Sita, and she was abducted by the king of Ceylon and taken over for 12 years. I have a picture, mental picture. You say his name is Christ. Yes, immediately. The child born in the stable to a Jewish girl, circumcised on the 8th day. Then, at the age of 12, he confounded the learned men in the temple. And then, at the age of 30, he's baptized by John the Baptist. And at the age of 33, according to your records, killed and done away with. I have a mental picture. Immediately, that picture for God is rejected. You don't use any terms or expressions which creates a mental picture. But call Him by any name, God Almighty, because His are the most beautiful names, meaning His attributes. Call Him, He is merciful, He is kind, He is holy, call Him what you like. But don't use terms and expressions which contaminate the picture.
Well, that's a very interesting one by Sheikh Ahmed Deedat. But then I think that the mistake that Sheikh Ahmed Deedat always make is for him being a Muslim and then think that he understands Christianity even more than the Christian themselves that is where he's actually getting everything wrong. Nevertheless, I know that he studied the word and then he has little knowledge, you understand, about the word. But then sometimes, you understand, he just feels like whatever he say, you understand, is the right way. The truth about it is, when we go to Exodus chapter 20, and then same thing with Deuteronomy chapter 5, that is where the 10 commandments we are listed, of course, that was given to Moses. And then the number 2 of the 10 commandment, which he says that you shall not make for thee any images in place of me. You know, making that images that we are talking about, and then trying to describe, you understand, Jesus Christ when he was alive, when he was here on earth, maybe probably to people or to children, does not mean that that is the image we are worshiping. We do not worship images. Of course, we know that it's against, you understand, our commandment as Christian for us to worship what? Images. We do not what? Worship images. Of course, we just have, you understand, representation of those images. Is just for you to just teach them and then illustrate to them, you understand, what you mean by the Jesus. But then we are not saying that, of course, that is the images, in a sense we are worshiping. We have never worshipped an images. There's only a time that the children of Israelite, when God called Moses to come and take the 10 commandments, the Bible makes us to understand that, of course, the children of the Israelite, they go to Aaron, that's the brother of Moses, and then from there they speak to him for him to make for them, in a sense, something that they could worship, that is in the wilderness. And then what happened to them from there? He did so. And then when Moses come and then seeing the people worshiping, in a sense, that image, of course, that he make in place of God, understand the difference. When you make something, in a sense, for yourself, and then you bow before that very image, and then you are worshiping that, and that is exactly what was referring to, which was exactly what the children of the Israelites, in a sense, did, right? And then at the end of the day, what happened to them? They got destroyed, in a sense, in the process. So when you see people trying to have a mental illustration of that picture, they said Jesus, of course, we all know that that is not, in a sense, who Jesus Christ, in a sense, was. The picture does not represent, in a sense, who Jesus Christ is, in a sense, to Christians. Neither that is the image that we worship. We do not, in a sense, worship that very image. As a matter of fact, it's just about me, for instance, in a sense, being a black man, and of course trying to maybe probably have a movie, and then probably I act a particular role in place of, in a sense, Jesus, and then trying to use his word, and then people could see me anywhere, and then they'll feel like, of course, Newton is Jesus. That is basically what, in a sense, the European, in a sense, did, and that's why they keep worshiping, and because of people keep seeing that same images, and then from there they started to have that mental understanding that that image represents Jesus. That image, in a sense, is not Jesus. It does not even represent God. And as the matter of fact, just like how I am showing you, you understand, in the Bible, both in the book of Exodus and then also Deuteronomy, which it has already said that we should not, in a sense, make for ourselves, in a sense, an idol. And then by the process of, in a sense, doing that means that, of course, you are actually, in a sense, worshiping idols. So we do not, in a sense, have any images, in a sense, in place of God. We do not do so. Christians, in a sense, don't do so. Neither the Christian or the Jews. We do not do so. So when you see those ones, it's just, in a sense, for her to trying to describe to people, but it does not mean that we worship, you understand, the images. All I can just say is that, of course, you can have a knowledge of God, of course, of who he is, in a sense, as a Muslim, irrespective of the name you want to call it. If you want to call it, and then you are an Arab man, and then you decide to call it, in a sense, Allah, so be it. Of course, that's the name of God, in a sense, is Arabic. So when you call it, in a sense, Allah, there is nothing wrong for you to call God, in a sense, Allah, if you understand, from the Arab. But then for some of us, because we understand English, and the name of God, you understand, in English language, in a sense, is God, and that's why, you understand, you see some of us, in a sense, use God. Same is also applicable, in a sense, to the Hebrew and all those things that they use, Elohim, and then all those things, right? Because that is how, in a sense, they understand it. Some people, in a sense, in their respective, in a sense, languages, they have the particular name that they call God, and that is how it is. It does not mean that when you call your own, in a sense, in Arabic, or you call your own in English, makes anyone, in a sense, one of them, in a sense, wrong. There is nothing wrong with it. But what, in a sense, that I may not like, in a sense, that some of you, in a sense, do that I feel that is not right, is for you to see a particular religion and it feels like you understand the religion even more than the person. For instance, just look at me as a Christian, then probably I started reading the Quran. Immediately I started reading the Quran or try to recite the Quran, then at some point then I begin to feel like, oh, I understand, you understand the Quran better than Ahmed Deedat, or I understand the Quran better than Dr. Zakir Naik, or I understand the Quran more than the Imams. Why? How? You know, all those things, you understand, is not possible. So when you have a little knowledge, it does not mean that you know everything. And that's the reason why you see I keep saying that, of course, that I'm still studying the Quran for me to be able to, when it becomes full, that is when I can be able to engage. Many people says that they want debate. I say, why do you want debate? Why not a symposium? Something that we're going to have a dialogue, have a discussion about the religion, and then therefore you can be able to present to the audience that this is what you understand about God, and then I also present whatever I understand about God to the people, and then from there they are going to decide to whatever or whosoever they feel to understand is right. As for me, I just felt like, of course, the whole goal for every believer is to make it to heaven, and not necessarily about me making a debate to cause division, because if I do so, it's just like I'm going to cause a division. So all we need at the moment is something that is going to unite us as humans. Then at the end of the day, let us be able to make it to heaven, so that not just about make it to the heaven, but let's be able to see our Creator for who He is. That is actually the main goal, and not necessarily about us debating or causing division. I am not here to cause division. I am here to unite all of us. That's exactly, you understand, what I do in my channel, and I hope that you being here, of course, you have a lot that you're going to learn, you understand, when it comes to Christianity. Same thing also applicable to Islam or also to the Jews. I hope that we have learned a lot as far as this video is concerned, and I know that a lot of you have thought an opinion concerning this, and I want you to drop it at the comment section, and God is going to bless you as you do so. So this is the end of my video. If you like my reaction, you should like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section, and I'm going to check it out. So guys, you remain blessed, and I see you in my next video. Bye bye.